Good evening. I'm Harry Keeling, and on behalf of Alaska Public Media and the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation, welcome to Hangar Flying. Last time our guest was Stephen Radcliff, who's the new Alaska director of the Cessna 180-185 Club. Stephen talked a little bit about the organization, and I in fact have had a membership many years with them, and it's only $25 a year, but I can tell you they sure do a lot of good stuff. They've got a good website, a good newsletter. They do fly-ins, and if you're a 180 or 185 fan, it's something you should look into. And the website is skywagons.org?
That is correct.
Yeah. Stephen, welcome back.
Thanks. Appreciate you having me back on the show.
So you talked a lot about the organization, a great organization, and certainly pushing the tail dragger piece, which of course I'm a big fan. One of the things you mentioned to me that I thought might be interesting to our guests, or to our viewers, is the study that I think the organization did on 180, 185 accidents, primarily fatalities. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, in fact, our last newsletter had a really good special report by a club member by the name of Andrew Toohey. He put together a lot of good technical information on accidents and incidents in the 180 and 185s, and I think one of the key takeaways from that was since the year 2000 there's been 76 fatalities in combined between the 180s and 185s. The average age of that was around 49 years old, with a total time around 4,600 hours of total time. Of all of the accidents or fatalities, the main driver of the fatality was flying from VFR conditions into IFR conditions.
So I think it probably no surprises there. Well, there are some surprises. One of them is the average experience level. I think that, you know, people tend to think that most accidents occur with inexperienced pilots, and that's not always, or not even often, the case. What did you say, 4,600 hours?
Yeah, I believe 4,600 hours was the average, and the age factor was up there also at 47 years of age.
The other thing that we've learned over and over again is if you're VMC and you fly into IMC, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, that's correct. And you know, one of the things just from, you know, I guess my personal background and whatnot is I think, you know, maybe some of the lower time pilots are a little bit more cautious. That may or may not be maybe true, but I think sometimes as we become, you know, older in age and older in hours, we sometimes become more complacent, or we tend to push the envelope. So I think one of the takeaways for me is just to reevaluate that as I plan my routes. And as we know, the weather here in Alaska is not always the friendliest or best, but just try to keep that in mind as we plan our flights and plan our trips. Well,
you make some good points, and I think some of the lessons that we've learned with 180, 185, there are mishaps on landing. It's a challenging airplane to fly, a challenging airplane to land, and even taxi if you're not paying attention. But very seldom are those accidents fatal. But when you fly into IMC and you're not instrument rated, or even if you are, but you do it inadvertently, you're asking for trouble, and often it ends, unfortunately, in fatalities. Let's talk about something more enjoyable. What kind of, you have hydraulic skis, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I've got a set of Airglass 4000 hydraulic wheel skis that I run in the winter. A lot of fun.
Yeah. How long have you had those?
I've had them for a few years now, since I think 2012 is when we got them.
Nice. And you run your airplane, you got a 180K up here?
That's correct. Yeah, I've got a 79 180K that I have here. So
somewhat of a sports car, isn't it?
Yeah, we converted it over from the 0470 to a fuel-injected IO 550. So it's been quite a joy.
Wow. And what kind of tires you run on it?
And on the tires in the summer months, we run 29-inch. I run the Snyder wheel adapters, 10-inch by 29-inch.
Oh,
so
okay.
A lot of fun. It's a good combination and makes the off-field landings, you know, pretty enjoyable.
Well, I really want to thank you for stepping up. You've got the enthusiasm to run this club, and I think can make a lot of contributions to safety. And of course, aviation safety is our business with the Safety Foundation. Do you have any thoughts on what maybe you as a club or as a Alaska director might do to enhance aviation safety here in Alaska?
Yeah, I think that, you know, as a club member and just a, you know, fellow pilot as well, I think there's always room for improvement on that. I think identifying, you know, key points that we can highlight, you know, potentially put things on the website, you know, talk about it at the trade shows, things like that are all things that we'd like to do. You know, put a focus on keeping in mind what some of the fatalities are and some of the incidents and accidents are, and try to increase awareness for that. So that's a good point.
Great. Stephen, thanks for being on the program tonight.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the time.
Good luck in your directorship.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed Stephen tonight and last time, and I encourage you to join the 180, 185 Club. It's very worthwhile. And of course, if you're not a member of the Safety Foundation, I encourage you to join there. And if you are, make sure you're up to date on your 2016 dues. Until next time, fly safe.